southwest Louisiana today who's buying ice. It's supposed to get down into the mid-20s tonight and again tomorrow night. Tomorrow I don't think it's supposed to get any higher than 38. What we're going to do for our next little test, or I guess you could call it abuse, on this Windham Weaponry AR-15, we're going to submerge it in ice and let it freeze completely solid over the next couple days and leave it outside, and then break it open probably in a couple days when it warms up a little bit and see how this thing functions. So we're here to fill this tub up with ice, and we're going to let this thing freeze completely solid. So let me go ahead and get started filling this thing up, and I don't think it's going to have much to do with how it functions once it thaws out, but nevertheless, it's one of the things that we wanted to try, and I want to see what it does, if it affects it at all. We had to make a second stop. The first place we went to, I put in coins, paper, credit card, and nothing seemed to work. Place was out of service. Now, these units that produce this ice are owned by a friend of mine, so I'm not going to badmouth the place. In fact, I came to one of his other locations to try to get ice to put in this thing to cover this Windham Weaponry AR-15 up with ice so we can freeze this sucker solid. Let's give this a second try. I've not even tried this, so we may actually be 0 for 2 at this point. Come on now. I hear ice. All right. I think we're in business now. Let's put a layer. There we go. I'm going to put a layer. Let's do a couple other underneath it. All right, here we go. We're going to put a nice thick layer underneath the rifle. Right now we're just trying to dump it in here. And what we'll do is we'll layer the bottom real well, and then we'll come back and cover the top. We'll fill it all the way to the top with ice. All right, that's enough to get our base layer right there, setting on top of it. Let's see here. All right, let's get a couple more like that. I think we'll be good. We want to get this thing completely covered up. All right. Maybe we'll go one more just to see. Cover it up. One more. There's our Windham Weaponry AR-15 dumped into the ice. We're going to try a little bit more ice. Let's see if we can't put a little more in there. I think that's going to do it. We'll let this thing freeze solid tonight and tomorrow night, and then we'll bust it out of here, see how well it fires. One of the things I want to show before we get out of here is our temperature. Right now it's 41 degrees. Goes the fire truck. As you can see tonight, well, not as cold as what they thought. 30 degrees and then 31 tomorrow night. So we've got some cool temperatures, possibly not as cold as what they thought it would be, but cold enough to where this thing is going to be turned into a block of ice tonight.